y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with a new video. Today we'll be trying out a new concealer from Decay. This is the Stay Naked Quickie concealer. But before we jump right into today's video, if it is your first time watching, please hit the subscribe button, and if you are a returning subscriber, don't forget to hit the like button. This concealer retails for $33. It's available in 24 shades. It is full coverage with a natural finish. It is long wearing, it is dual ended, and this also gives you a real skin finish, and it does have vitamin E, and it is also vegan. It does come with the brush. Y'all, I will not be using the brush in today's video. I won't be using the brush in anytime I wear this concealer if I actually like it. I like when concealers are packaged like this with the brush, because I'm not going to use that, and I just feel like after a while, like, I'm not going to want to put it on my face. Once I see all like the concealer on it, I'm just not going to do it. But anyway, I picked up the shade 60NN, and the reason why I went with this shade is just because this is the shade I always use in the Decay Stay Naked concealer. Now, this is a shade that is definitely going to give you a bright under eye look. Now, if you don't want a concealer that's this light, you could try, I think it's 70NN. I looked at that in the store because I picked this up from Ulta. I actually went inside Ulta and swatched a few shades. This is not available in store at Sephora, but you can order it online. And this is also available in store at Nordstrom. This was released at Nordstrom early in the month. I think they did it by accident, like they released it too early, because when I went to order it online from Nordstrom, it was gone. It was maybe available like a good 2-3 days. When I finally decided to get it, it was gone, and it just now became available at other retailers. I do know a few people were able to get their hands on this concealer just because I've seen it all over social media. People use it. Now, I haven't sat and like watched a review on it just because I don't watch reviews before I try out a product. But anyway, this is a full coverage concealer. They're saying that this has a natural finish. I feel like this is going to be more of a matte finish. But anyway, I do have foundation on already. Anybody wondering what foundation I'm wearing, I have the time for it. Traceless foundation sticks. Alright, so I'm going to go in and apply the concealer. And I'm hoping this is just as good as the other Decay Stay Naked concealer, because that was one of my favorite full coverage ones. So I'm hoping this is just as good. And also, you get a nice size applicator. I don't even know why I put this concealer on like this, because I haven't done this in a long time. But the texture of this is thick. This is not creamy. It feels kind of dry, so keep that in mind. Y'all, so this is what the concealer looks like once I blended it out. I haven't set it yet. Y'all, this did exactly what I thought it was going to do. This dries down very quick, and it dries down matte. I did put too much concealer on. Normally, I don't even put that much concealer on. I don't know why I did that in the first place. This shade is very bright. It's going to give you a super bright under eye look. I don't mind it. I don't mind the way that looks because I know I can fix it. I'm gonna make it work regardless, but the shade is not an everyday shade by any means. Now the shade, again, is gonna give you like a bright under eye look. I don't mind having a very bright concealer on every now and again. Now, this is a shade that's not for everyday wear. I would not recommend you get this shade. This concealer was very hard to blend out. At first, I was like, I don't know if it was the sponge, because this is a Real Technique sponge that I'm using. I typically do not like Real Technique sponges. I don't like them at all. I prefer to use the e.l.f. sponges or the Iamkaia, the ones you can get from Target. So at first I thought maybe it was the sponge, so I went up. At first I thought it was the sponge where I was having a hard time blending it out. So I went and got one that I always use, and I still had that same issue. This is very once I went and got my normal sponge that I use, I still had the same issue. So I would say with this concealer, you have to apply a little bit and then blend it out. because if you put a lot on like I just did, you're gonna have a time getting it to melt into your skin. And also, this does not melt into your skin easily. You really need a damp sponge with this. Now, I'm somebody, I prefer not to dampen my sponge with my concealer. I know a lot of y'all like doing that. I personally, I don't. I prefer my sponge to be dry, but with this, you need to dampen it a little bit. That's why I end up spraying it with this setting spray. So now I'm gonna go in with some powder and set it, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, I'm back with the concealer on. So far, it hasn't creased on me yet. That's a good thing. I don't like the texture of this. This feels very thick and dry. I was hoping it would be very similar to the original Stay Naked concealer, but I feel like this is more matte. It's not creamy at all. It is very hard to blend out. Like, I don't want to do all that work blending out a concealer. It's supposed to melt right into your skin once you blend it out. This does not do that. I feel like this is probably going to end up being on the dry side. So if you're somebody who have dry under eyes, you probably won't like this. Coverage on this is great. This is a full coverage concealer. I don't know how I feel about it right now. I'm leaning more towards, this is probably one that I wouldn't use often. I don't really care for the shade. Once I got up and looked in the mirror, I do feel like it is definitely too bright. It's bright, but right now it doesn't look bad, but at first I was not loving it. But I'm gonna do my normal wear test, and then I'll be back in a couple hours. We'll see how well the concealer has held up, and I will tell y'all whether or not if I think it's worth picking up. So I'll see y'all in a few. It's been about 9.5 hours. This is what my under eyes look like. As you see, some creasing is starting to happen, but I feel like that's not bad. When I first left out earlier, I was unsure of this concealer just because I didn't like the texture of it, and I didn't like how quickly it dried down. It dries down really fast and it gets matte. If you are a fan of the Stay Naked concealer from Urban Decay, I think you would actually like this. I don't see that much of a difference. Other concealer by Urban Decay, I could have swore that was like 35, 40 shades. So they had a nice shade range. This is only available in 24 shades. That's not bad. I feel like if you have very dry under eyes, or you just don't like full coverage matte concealers, you probably would not like this, because this is matte. This claims to be hydrating. There is nothing hydrating about this at all. I would say if you wanted to pick this up, I would recommend probably going in with a eye cream before you apply it, or I would try to mix this in with another concealer, one that's more hydrating. But this is again, it's very matte, it's full coverage, and it dries down quickly. I actually do like it. I'm not gonna say I hate it. I like it, and I will be using this again just based off of how well it performed today. It didn't crease on me. I do like this. Oh, I forgot to mention this concealer, this particular shade 60 NN. When I left out, I felt like it looked very light. It looked very bright under my under eye. Right now, it doesn't look bad at all. And the reason why it doesn't look bad is because this concealer does oxidize. This has definitely darkened up since it's been on my face. I don't know if it's because of the powder I use. I don't know. But this concealer did get darker. I noticed it earlier when I looked in the mirror. I don't know if you guys could see that it has oxidized on camera compared to how it looked. And also, I do feel like you get a lot of product in this. Like, this is going to last me a long time. This is going to last a while. Scale of 1 to 10, I'm actually going to give this concealer a 9. I like it. I like the performance of it. I like the way that it looks under my under eyes. It has really good coverage. Now, this is not a concealer that will be in my everyday rotation, but I will use this from time to time. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on the new Urban Decay Quickie 24-hour multi-use concealer. Y'all let me know in the comment section, have you tried this out? What are your thoughts? Do you plan on picking it up? Let me know in the comment section. And most importantly, do not forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.